Yep.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very unique podcast. Hello, my name's Ryan. I think you guys know me, and we got Bradley, and I think you know him as well. But
Yes, hopefully.
the Vanilla Gorilla, aren't you?
Yeah.
How'd you get that name, buddy?
Well, when I was younger, I used to act like a gorilla. Because
Oh, nice.
they were my favorite. They were my favorite animals, and I also thought they were really strong, and that's what my dad's like. So I wanted to become.
And the vanilla was because you were super white blonde hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am now dark blonde.
Yeah, as you're getting older, it is darkening up a bit like your granddad. But, ladies and gentlemen, we thought whilst we're driving now, we'd do a bit of a podcast. Now, a bit of context, it's 3:36 a.m.
Yep.
We're driving south from Brisbane, Australia, to a small town called Lakewood in New South Wales, which is a nice coastal town, beautiful part of the world. Who are we visiting?
Nanny and Granddad.
Nanny and Granddad. First week of school holidays, and we are heading down. Eliza's here in the car with us as well. I'm not sure if she's awake or asleep, but
She's
is
awake.
definitely...
You just can't see her.
Okay, she's awake. She's awake.
She's back there somewhere.
She must be listening in. She's got front row tickets to this podcast. She's literally studio audience. Anyway, Brad, how's everything going, dude?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. How old are you now?
I am turning 11, which means I am 10.
Very good. Turning 11, which means you're 10. You turn 11 in August, yeah?
Yes.
I should know. I am your dad, aren't I?
Yeah, I don't think you would really need to.
Well, you know, one thing you'll find, I don't know if this is universal to just dads or to all men in general, but we're really bad at remembering dates of our kids' birthdays. I have to think usually. I have to really think about, hang on, what day is everyone's birthday? I forget my own birthday half the time. But anyway, it's good to have you here
How
tonight.
long do you forget your own birthday? You've done
You know,
32 or 37 times?
39 times now.
Okay, I do.
But yeah, you get tired of it in the end.
We got some light again, but now we're gone.
Nah, that's okay. But it is a nice drive at this time of night. We get to skip all of the traffic as we head down. But Bradley, I thought we would just do this podcast, seeing that we have an opportunity to be in the car and there's almost no one else on the road. And I could ask you a few questions about your journey in arm wrestling and your journey as a content creator and anything else that's interesting within your world. So yeah.
Well, it depends. That's on your perspective. What's interesting for you?
Well, okay. That is true. From my perspective, there are a lot of interesting things about you, but I reckon you've got some really interesting perspectives on things as well. But let's start it off with you and your arm wrestling journey. I've noticed that you have 9,500 followers on Facebook. You're at about 620 followers on Instagram, and I think on YouTube you're a little over 1,000 as well. So you've got actually quite a little bit of a footprint there for someone your age. Well done.
Yay!
What is it like for you at school when kids find out that you've got arm wrestling social media?
Not that much, because I can beat most people in my grade in arm wrestles. Pretty sure every single person in my grade, even quite a few people in the next year above me.
Yep.
But they're more surprised when they heard that you have 100K.
When they hear about my social media following?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I guess it would be a novelty to those kids as well. But tell me, do they believe that you're an arm wrestler when they?
Some.
Do you offer them the chance to find out?
Yeah. Most definitely.
And what happens usually when they group up with you?
They're like, I'm gonna beat you. They don't show it, but I already know that's what that's thinking in your head.
Well, I actually got the the privilege of seeing you arm wrestle a few of your friends just the other day. You had your athletics carnival. And
yes,
it
I
was
destroyed Xavier Yuck and a person in the year above me called Ronnie.
Yeah, and Roddy was strong too.
Yeah,
Roddy had just come off, I think he came second in the shot put. He was a big kid and looked very strong. And
people call him Queso.
What's that?
I have no idea why, but they call him Queso.
Fair enough. So,
Dad.
as somebody who is strong within your school, particularly in arm wrestling, how does that affect your world?
So, how does it affect me that I'm really strong in arm wrestling?
Yeah, like what effect does it have on you as a person? Do you feel mentally strong for it? Do people look up to you? Does it help you with overcoming challenges?
I wish they would look up at me.
Does it stop the bullies?
No.
Doesn't stop the bullies.
It's not really bullies, just people who... There's lots of people now, since there's all these people trying to give motivation to people, so now there's basically... There was a year 3er which literally started annoying like the strongest year 6.
Okay.
And he also annoys me, and his name's Little...
Don't say everyone's name. Just keep everyone private because we don't want to put everyone's names out there. But
can I say the first letter of his name?
Yeah, sure. What's his
T.
T. Okay, so we'll call him Mr. T. You know, Mr. T is actually a really cool character from I think from the 80s. Mr. T. But anyway, carry on with your story. What does Mr. T do?
Well, sometimes he just thinks he can spar or wrestle with me.
Yep.
And he tried jumping on my back, and I just picked up his arms and basically used him as a backpack for a little bit.
Okay.
And he was like, ah! Because it stretched out his arms a little bit. I basically just have to use him as a backpack, and then he's like, okay, bye.
Goodness me. So arm wrestling strength comes in handy at school?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What about the teachers? Have the teachers got involved in your arm wrestling at all?
No.
Has anyone noticed that you're an arm wrestler amongst the teachers?
They probably know because in class, normally within the boys, it's a thing where you can just arm wrestle randomly, and it's like, yeah. It's kind of fun being the challenge everyone wants to arm wrestle at times, but then when I want to be left alone, sometimes they're like, oh, can we arm wrestle? Well, I already just did 17 arm wrestles and I want all of them.
So you're a bit of a novelty to the boys. Do the girls ever come up and arm wrestle you? Is there any strong girls in your class?
No.
No strong girls?
No.
You know,
I have like 5 girls in my class, and the rest of my class is boys.
And you've never arm wrestled with any of them?
No, because they're too scared.
Fair enough. You know, some of the girls, I've seen some amazingly strong girls at your age group. So I reckon if a few of them had a go, they'd very easily be enthusiastic about the sport. But anyway, so outside of arm wrestling, do you train for strength?
Yeah.
You do? What do you do?
The gym.
You go to the gym. And what sort of training do you most enjoy when you're at the gym?
Abs and legs.
Abs and legs. Can you tell us a little bit about your leg strength? What are you capable of lifting with your legs?
Well, it might be surprising for some people, but I'll tell you a little story which I saw at the gym, right? I was doing my leg press, but we had to wait for like a few people to finish, and I saw an adult lady lifting 50 kg, and then I walked on, went up to 80, and started doing 7 reps of that.
Yeah, nice. So 80 kilos on the leg press, you can rep that out comfortable. I think you have
It's quite hard, but I can my first way around, but then I wouldn't be able to do it the second time.
Nice.
I
think that I've seen you do 60 kilos for 30 reps. No worries at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did 21 reps.
21 reps. Very good. So it's interesting that legs are your favorite thing to train. given you're such a good arm wrestler? Because so many arm wrestlers don't have strong legs, but you love legs.
I'm an old timer.
You're an old timer.
No, I'm an old.
Oh, an old timer.
Not an old timer.
I thought you were saying you were an old timer. That's more of granddad or me. But you're an old timer. Okay, all rounder maybe. An all rounder.
That one.
Very good.
Sorry.
That's what
Sorry.
you're after. That's good. Oh look, there's some light. We're in the tunnel at the moment.
Yay, we can see each other.
G'day everybody.
That's
There's
Liza
Lizzie in
in the back.
the back.
Say hello, Lizzie.
Say hi, Liz.
Quickly.
There we go. There's a wave
Bye,
from Lizzie. It's
everyone.
gonna get dark again in a
Yep,
second.
And we're
There we go. We're back out of the tunnel. So that's cool. So legs are one of your favorites. You said abs as well.
Yes.
How do you train your abs?
We have a thing where you can attach a weight of any kind. The weakest you can go is 7.5, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And you basically grab two straps around your shoulders and you have to pull forward.
Yeah, nice. Abs are good for everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like in arm wrestling, whether it's
For show.
Yep, they certainly look good. Yep, and
Plus,
I mean, when
I
you're
want to
running,
get those done quickly,
Yep.
so I actually have abs. Because later on in my swimming years, because I'm getting really good at swimming.
Mhm.
Taking your shirt off makes you go faster,
Yeah. Okay.
and I don't want. I feel a bit weird taking my shirt off when I'm a little bit chunky.
Yep.
So
And what do you weigh? Do you know how many kilos you are?
43.
43 kilos.
Yeah.
There you go. So 43 kilos in your
Around that way.
and your leg press and 80. That's for reps. That's good.
I'm basically lifting my
Double
my
your body weight. Nice. Now,
and I could deadlift my whole body weight.
you did your first deadlift just the other day, didn't you? Tell us the story about why you wanted to deadlift without using anyone's name specifically.
Another Mr. T.
Another Mr. T. Very
Another
good.
one. TJ, I'll say.
Yep.
One of my friends said he honestly always used to brag about, oh yeah, guess what, I can do 50 on a deadlift. And then on my first try, I just went, you know what? I'm gonna do 2.5 more than him just to rub it in.
So you did. So you deadlifted 52.5 kilos.
Yeah.
On your first ever go of deadlifting.
Yep.
Very impressive stuff. And that video went pretty well on social media too, didn't it? I think last time I checked, you were at about 35,000 views. Your first deadlift video. Yeah. People were impressed. A lot of people were like, "Whoa, that's strong for straight out of the bat." Where do you think strength comes from?
God.
From God? So that's a great answer.
Without God, if he wasn't helping us, we wouldn't be able to lift probably 0.1.
Yeah, so that's really a very wise answer, because God certainly does bless us with everything, doesn't he? All things are ordained and given to us by God. So that's a fascinating answer. So how does God personally affect you in your life? And when I ask that question, I mean, don't try to think about like what's the sort of the textbook answer, but like just for you personally, like how does God fit into your life?
Pretty well.
Pretty well. That's good.
I live in an all-Christian family, so
Nice.
doesn't have a problem for any of them. That
He's
don't
welcome.
have it.
God's welcome.
Yes, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that answer, Bradley. I love that you said God is welcome in your family, in an all Christian family. And in terms of your strength, how does God affect your strength in particular?
Kind of like Eric Liddell.
Like Eric Liddell?
Yeah.
Who's
or
Eric
Little.
Liddell?
Little. It's multiple ways to say it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a famous Scotland runner,
Mm-hmm.
and he would run all he could for the first half and trust God for the rest.
So when it gets to that point where it's difficult, then you dig deep, talk to God, and he gets you through. That's fantastic, Bradley. Love that. because God has been through more than we can imagine with his suffering on the cross. Do you know God is actually incredible? Or Jesus, the man who was God's son when he came to earth, you know he was actually incredibly strong? So when Jesus was crucified, they estimate that the weight of the cross was about 160 pounds. Yeah, so about 70 to 75 kilograms, which is a pretty heavy thing to carry. And he walked about 2 kilometers uphill carrying the cross. So you imagine getting an Olympic bar and putting it on your back and having to carry it all that way. And not only did he carry it, but he was already beaten up and whipped, and so he would have been exhausted, dehydrated, and he was still strong enough to carry that cross for 2 kilometers up a hill. So Jesus was actually a really, really strong dude.
Huh.
I personally love thinking about that, realizing.
I thought it was just planks of wood.
Yeah, well, planks of wood are pretty heavy. You think about a cross has to be big enough to do its job, which was a horrible job of killing somebody, but it had to be big enough to hold up a man and not fall over or break in the wind or anything like that. So yeah, they reckon it was about 160 pounds, and that would take some strength to carry, I reckon. But I love that subject, but let's bring it back to a bit of your training in the gym. Now, you're pretty young to be in the gym, aren't you? Yeah. How did you manage to get an opportunity to be the youngest person in your gym? You can say it.
Well, my dad talked to the manager, and he asked if I could come to the gym with him. And the manager said, yeah, fine, but if anyone asks how old you are, just say you're 14.
So you're 14
Yeah.
when you're at the gym. So you time travel a bit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You are an incredibly sensible.
And no one's asked me, so I'm surprised that I look like a 14.
Yeah, everyone just passes. Do people come up to you at the gym at all? Like, does anyone come up and talk to you?
Because you would have known.
Yeah, I've seen lots of people come up and say well done and very
A few.
inspiring. And
They mostly talk to you because you're famous.
well,
You are famous.
they literally come up to us because they see you training and they're impressed. You might not have noticed it, but I've definitely had lots of people come up to me and say, hey, well done, look at this young fella go. Love seeing that and starting so early. And you know, one thing that I particularly think you do very well in the gym, Bradley, is your form. You have really good form, and what I love most is that you don't chase big numbers. You get your form correct.
A little bit.
Well, yeah, it's fun to chase records, isn't it?
Yeah.
But your form is really good, really consistently. You keep your shoulders pinned back when you're pressing, you keep your lower back intact when you're pulling, all sorts of things. All sorts of things. But it is very, have you broken many records for yourself since you've been in the gym? How long have you been in the gym?
How long have I don't remember.
Probably about 4 months now?
Yeah, I guess 4 months.
4 months. And have you seen, what sort of changes have you seen in your strengths? And
Quite a lot.
And what changes have you seen in your body?
Abs.
You got abs now?
Muscles.
Muscles? What
Muscle.
muscle has surprised you the most that's turned up?
Speed.
Speed. Where? So
I used to be okay speed, but
Yep.
now I'm quite fast.
As in like in the running?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. One muscle that I know that I've seen turn up on you that really wasn't there.
Triceps.
Yes, triceps. That steak, as we like to call it, on the back of your arm.
Let's go.
That's popping out. That's really, but when you get the pump on, your triceps look awesome.
They do. Yeah. Good juicy steaks.
And your forearms, one thing as an arm wrestler that we have that other strength athletes don't grow as significantly is forearms. And I've seen a lot of people in your social media content make comments on your forearms going, have a look at the size of your forearms already. It's kind of crazy. And you know, I think that's really what
And
sets
I have
you.
quite big hands too.
That's true.
For my age, I basically have your size hands, but just
Yeah,
bit
your
thinner.
hand is literally almost the same size as mine. The palm of your hand is very, very wide.
yes. And I've literally went up to so many people in my grade and said, "Your hands are so tiny," because we just went like this,
Yeah.
and their hands like thinner.
Yeah, the fingers are
Smaller.
skinny and yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, you do have strong hands, and you know, I think that so much of that comes from your arm wrestling, and there's even interesting things, Bradley, that about the way your body grows when it's in a certain environment, and you just being around arm wrestling as you've grown up, watching Dad arm wrestle and watching Dad's friends arm wrestle. Even that contributes potentially to the way your body grows and designs itself. So your brain sees arm wrestling as an important thing, and so you start growing into an arm wrestler right from the beginning.
Yeah, because ever since I've seen you, I'm like, oh, this is the way.
This is the way, isn't it?
I know the way. I know the way.
So, Bradley, I would love to, and we won't give it too much longer because it is almost 4 a.m. and I know you'd be getting tired. I can hear a few yawns. I'm curious, where do you see yourself as an arm wrestler in the future? What do you enjoy? And do you have any trips coming up or?
Like trips to other countries or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a trip to another country in September.
You're gonna go. Oh, where are you headed?
New York.
Gonna go to New York.
We're gonna go.
Nice. That's
We're
your first.
gonna go to
That's
New
your
York.
first international trip.
Yep.
And
pretty good
and
first
it's
one.
for arm wrestling. Goodness me. So ladies and gentlemen, as you've just heard from there from Bradley, he and I will be in New York in
For a little
September.
So if you see us on the street in New York,
Come and say good day, wouldn't it?
yeah.
You can grip maybe some of your podcast listeners, because I'm sure a lot of them are in the USA. Will be able to come and actually grip you as well, because we'll be at an event, which I'm sure everyone can work out which event it's going to be, given the date. But I won't drop it just in case the promoter hasn't yet. But come along, grip up with Bradley at the after pool. He would love it, wouldn't you?
No.
Well, you used to grip it up with 17 kids at school. Can you handle 17 arm wrestlers?
No. Kids are different.
Kids are different.
They don't
Mate,
train.
What would be really cool would be if there was a kids tournament on in the USA, and that you could have a go at.
There will be so much strong people.
Because they have a lot more arm wrestlers over there, so there's more kids tournaments that happen. So we'll keep an eye out and we'll see if Bradley can get himself in a kids tournament. You do way better than you realize. You do really well. But anyway, so Bradley, do you have any goals for your social media?
To get monetized so I can start making some money.
You're super close, aren't you?
Yeah.
On Facebook, you are super close to being monetized, which is outstanding. Outstanding. And on Facebook, on YouTube, you're pretty close as well. Instagram doesn't really monetize for us down here in Australia, but you've got a great following there also. So what sort of content can people expect to find if they do check you out on Facebook or
Probably
YouTube?
gym stuff,
Gym stuff.
training videos.
Nice.
We need to do some more videos where it's just us at home and we're doing activities.
Yeah, well, that's
The
one of
last
the
one we did was like the egg or apple shooting off the head challenge.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Didn't you crack an egg on
Yeah, because I won.
That's right. Yep, I had a raw egg cracked over my head because
It was his fault, he agreed to it.
What was the game? What was the challenge that we did?
I think it was scissors, paper, rock.
Oh no, my goodness! And the loser got the egg cracked in their head.
Yeah, and then you, even though I cracked it on your head, you grabbed me and started wiping it on me. Like you grabbed my shoulder and started doing this with your head.
Oh well, I got a bit of revenge, a bit of cheeky revenge.
It's not a
Fantastic.
part of the rules.
Fantastic. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in for the last half an hour or so.
Yes, 25 minutes.
You've helped us get one step closer to our destination. It's now 4 a.m. And
Oh, it actually is perfectly 4
spot on,
a.m.
4 a.m. And so we've probably got about 3 hours, 40 minutes to go. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this late night podcast with myself and Bradley. Bradley, you got anything you want to say before we go? Anything particular?
See ya.
There we go. Simple, short. See ya. See you from Bradley. See you from me.
See ya from Lizzie.
See you from Lizzie in the back.
Can't really see her, but she'll be there somewhere.
She's there. We can hear her rustling around in her bags and her toys.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy sometimes.
We call Lizzie the bag queen. She's got a lot of bags.
And also the sauce queen.
The bag
She
queen.
tried
sauce
putting
queen.
sauce on soup.
Yeah, we got a lot of nicknames for a lot of people, haven't we? They call me
Lazaroon.
we call Lizzie Lazaroon.
Lizzie Longshanks.
Lizzie Longshanks when she's not happy. Bradley gets called Bradley Boobles McScribbles by Lizzie.
No, that's what you call me. She calls me silly.
I get called Daddy Boomba by Lizzie. Nanny gets called
Nanny Pants.
Nanny Pants.
What does Granddad?
Granddad gets. What does Granddad get?
We don't have one yet.
We have to make one up. What's a good nickname for Granddad?
Something involving fish.
He does a lot of fishing, doesn't he?
And planting.
Fishing and gardening are his things. So
We should probably finish it up so people don't have to watch too much longer.
okay, sounds like Bradley wants to wrap it up. All right, guys, we'll go this time. Signing off from Daddy Boomba and Bradley Boobles.
And Lazaroon.
See you guys.
Bye.